Well, good afternoon. I'm at Milton Keynes Theatre, and I'm absolutely over the moon to be talking to Mead, who, as you all know, shot to fame by winning Any Dream Will Do back in 2007, winning the prize role of Joseph. An amazing experience. Hello, Lee.
Hello, how are you?
I'm really good. I can't actually believe I'm talking to you because I was, as I said off air, was in the audience when you won Joseph, and that was an iconic moment for you and for television viewers as well.
Yeah, I have to say it's quite random because we're sat in the foyer of the theatre, Milton Keynes, and directly opposite is Joe McElderry saying Joe is Joseph, right? And I'm just looking at it right now, the banner. So you're talking about it, and I can see the banner there. But it was, it was a wonderful time. Again, like this show, like Chitty, it was a musical that I grew up with as a kid, saw in my local theatre, and did the touring production for Bill Kenwright in 2004 as a brother, and probably the youngest pharaoh they've ever had. I was like 19 when he should have been 42 or something. And fast forward to 2007, and I just put myself up for the TV show, and 10,000 guys later, I went and won the role. It's like winning the lottery, really. So it's crazy, yeah.
It was incredible. I think for a lot of television viewers, it was, as I said, an amazing moment. But for theatre purists out there, people were a bit sniffy about it because, I think people felt that you hadn't done your theatre dues, and you absolutely had cut your theatre teeth. You'd done the whole, you'd done rep, you'd done all the theatre. You'd done sort of musical theatre, performing arts, etc. So, that must have felt good that you actually proved to your detractors that they were wrong, and you brought new audiences to the West End, didn't you?
I don't know if that was me. It was more the show that opened to a wider audience. I mean, my dad, I come from a very working class, like normal family, like most people, and there were friends at my dad's work that went to see the show, and it was their first musical. So, a good 9-10 million watched the show every week, and that did introduce people to more musicals. But obviously, the show didn't single-handedly do that. I mean, musicals have been around for years, but it certainly opened things up. And it was a crazy time. It was quite surreal. But I was quite lucky because I found out on the final. It's obviously 10 years ago now, but all the theatres in the West End, all the casts, I didn't realise until about 3 months later that most of them were kind of voting for me, and sort of I had the support from all the guys in the industry, because as you say, I did Phantom of the Opera and Miss Saigon and all these big shows, but was always in the chorus, in the ensemble, and looking for my opportunity to play a lead, and so that was nice to have the support from those guys as well.
A wonderful platform, but I think those sort of reality shows, for want of a better word, opened up the West End and made theatre, as you say, for people like your parents who had no exposure to that, made theatre accessible to every man. It wasn't just for people who had loads of money.
Yeah, the ticket prices are still quite high though.
Well, that's London, not so much in Milton Keynes.
Yeah, it did. I think what was nice is that not everybody can afford to go to the West. I mean, it can be £50 a ticket plus your hotel and travel. So I know for me growing up, it was a once a year trip. I mean, it was a big occasion for us to go to the West End as a family, and that's the great thing about touring in a show and going to the cities and to the towns. It's my first time touring in a show for 10 years. I've been doing a lot of TV and fortunate enough to do shows in the West End, but that's been the fun part for me, not just the show and playing Cactus Pots, but going on tour again and to the people, yeah.
But in terms of Caractacus Potts, I mean, this is very, very different. It's, he's a bit bonkers, but he loves his children, but he's fumbling because, finding his way, doesn't know how to look after his children. He does kind of neglect them when he's sort of tinkering around with cars and trying to invent sweets and things like that. But I mean, you're a dad. How, and Betsy's 6 now, isn't she? I mean, how do you juggle?
Yeah. How do I juggle myself being a dad? Like any
with acting, yeah.
Like any parent, really. I mean, I think most families have that thing of having to go to work, and my dad did 70 odd hours a week, and it would see him at weekends, and it's like me. My days off on a Sunday night, I'll be in the car from Sheffield, Newcastle, wherever, doing the school run on a Monday. So I'll be doing a lot of miles the next 5 months. And I get holidays as well, and she'll be coming to me with my parents will be bringing her on tour as well. So it's just, you just make it work.
What does she make of Daddy on stage? Or that's all she's ever known? Mummy and Daddy are actors.
Yeah, she's seen me do a couple of pantos, she's only 6, so she's still quite young, but she enjoys the panto, yeah. She came last year to that, had a lot of fun, and I took her to see the production in Southampton with Jason Manford when he was doing the role, in the same company now, and she loved it, yeah. So I thought it would be nice to bring her to see the show before myself going into the role.
Has she seen you do it yet then?
Not yet, no, but we're going to Canterbury, which is, I think, the closest venue to where she's based.
Okay.
So she's going to pop along to.
And what's it about this role as character Potts? What is it about the role that you love so much? Because you said that's something you've really wanted to do for a long time.
Yeah, my agent Will called me, and I was fortunate enough to get a straight offer for the part. And the conversation literally went, "Oh, hi Lee, it's Will. I've got a phone call for you to do Chitty, to play Potts." I said, "Yes." It's that quick, that easy, because I watched the film as a kid, and it's such an iconic story. And Ian Fleming, his lyrics and the songs, it's you can't top it as a show, really. I don't think. There's other great shows out there, but it's so iconic.
It really is. I mean, we watched it last night, and as a family show, you can't fault it. I mean, it ticks every single box, and I mean, the staging was fantastic. The car did its thing last night, which must have been a sigh of relief for you. But what was it like, sort of working with the technical aspects of a car that has to fly?
Well, technical. First show was Wednesday night, and would a show stop for half an hour? It's the first time it's happened. I think I'm jinxed, because my first Joseph performance back in 2007, the Revolve stopped, my very first show, and first performance of Chitty, the car doesn't work. But it's back on track now, and I think that there's a problem. It's linked to a computer, the way it turns and the mechanics, but it's hopefully should happen again.
It's fantastic. And what next after this? Because this is a big tour. What happens next?
With the show?
With roles, what do you have to look forward to next?
Well, I've just released a new album that's done pretty well, top 20 in the independent charts, and I'm touring that with my band in October, doing a few dates, and then panto at Christmas, yeah. So.
What panto are we allowed to know yet?
I don't know myself, yeah, I find out, I think, next week. Yeah, so it's very exciting. I work for Keynes, with the biggest panto company in the world, and I've done 4 years with them now, so I'm hoping I'll be somewhere this year, so find out where I'm going to be.
Panto is such big business though, isn't it? I mean, what's about panto that you absolutely love?
What do I love? I think I don't love just having Christmas Day off and doing 12 shows a week, but what's nice is, and rare, is seeing the 3 generations of audience, so of the kids, the parents and the grandparents, and you can literally look out to the first few rows and see the nans and granddads, mum and dads and the kids, and that's quite rare, really. And actually this show does that as well. There's very few shows other than panto that do that. So.
Yeah, I think in terms of a family show, as I said before, you can't fault it on every single level. It's totally suitable. The child catcher is a little bit scary,
he is,
but he gets his comeuppance like all baddies. But it really, really is a fantastic family show. I mean, I'd urge anybody to come and see Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I mean, it was just a phantasmagorical delight, and I mean, you were amazing.
Your little quote there.
I know. Our fine four-friended friend.
It's good. But I think ultimately, obviously, the payoff is the flying car, which we all love. But James Brining, the director, really wanted to make sure the relationship with Potts and his kids, and the relationship with Grandpa, and then him meeting Truly, the show's more about that than just this flying car. And then it's the heart of the story and the characters that you really connect with and go with the whole show. And then at the ending, obviously, you have the flying car as well. But it's just a really good production, I think.
It really is. I mean, as I say, I can't praise it highly enough. And you did a fantastic job. And it was lovely to see you do something other than Joseph. I mean, Joseph was amazing, and that's what got you started. Which you quite rightly deserve to win that. And as I say, I was waiting for you.
Oh,
and I was there in the audience. And Lee Mead, it's been an absolute pleasure and privilege. So thank you so much, and good luck with the rest of the run.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Hello, Michelle Collins.
Hello, hi.
It's lovely to meet you. I can't believe I'm talking to Cindy of Eastenders.
Long time ago.
Incredible. I mean, we will talk about what you're doing here, but you were the best TV bitch ever, apart from Alexis Colby. And, you made Eastenders really interesting. And to be honest with you, once you left Eastenders, I kind of lost interest. I mean, do you miss it, though?
No, it was such a long time ago. I mean, it's weird that people still even remember me. I mean, it was not. I left in '96. Yeah, I left in '96 when I had my daughter, and I went back a year later for just 6 months, and then I decided I didn't want to do it anymore because I'd already the year I had off. I did lots of other things, and so. It was great at the time, but no, it was too long ago to miss it in a way, you know. But it's just weird that, you know, you play a part like that it's a bit like when someone's dead, they become more famous after they died. It's like suddenly she just got bigger and bigger, you know, the longer the time went on, really.
Yes, posthumously, people do, you know, it is a weird thing, isn't it?
I did, you know, Coronation Street, and there was a massive gap in between where I'd done lots of other things, but it was a bit like I'd just gone from Eastenders to Corrie within the space of a day, and it was like, hold on a minute, this is like 17-year gap. It's quite weird, but you know, they're very popular programs, aren't they? I suppose
they are, absolutely. I mean, I adored you in Sunburn, and I wish that had been recommissioned because I thought it was a great show.
Yeah, you know, I think it could have been better, and I think it was okay, but I think it wasn't good enough to do a third. I think we decided, and there was, you know what, there was tons of work around then. So, and then I did something else called 2000 Acres of Sky, which I wanted to go off and do. So, yeah.
I really enjoyed you in that as well. But I mean, people don't realise, I mean, you're not a West End Wendy by any stretch of the imagination. Your background is, you know, you're also all singing or dancing, but you in the you know, you sang backing singing with Murray Wilson, didn't you?
I did when I was very young. I was about 18, 19, and yeah, it was something I sort of got into by default, really. But it was good fun. Yeah, it was great fun. No, because I didn't go to drama school. I'm not a trained singer or anything. But it's good to have something like that. I think it was great fun to be in a band in the 80s. Brilliant fun. We didn't get paid any money, but we had a good time.
Well, I mean, the 80s were, in my opinion, you know, we're a similar age, the best era for music.
Yeah, and fantastic, yeah. And the clothes and everything, and it was great. And you know, we never had any money to buy any clothes. It was all secondhand. Well, now it's vintage, isn't it? You know, but it was great fun. Really
what passes as vintage, though? Because I mean, it's only 30-something years ago, but you know that classes as vintage. Don't you think that's a bit odd?
I know, and they pay a fortune for it, don't they, as well?
I wish I'd hung on to my rah-rah skirt.
Yeah, I know. My daughter loves the 80s, 90s fashions, and oh God, no, I don't think so.
No, I'm glad it's not come back again. It was great for the time, but you know, you have. Last night, I mean, we saw the show last night, press night. It was absolutely fantastic. And I have to say, you know, you have this amazing star quality, and I couldn't take my eyes off you. And you played the Baroness with such comic timing, but you know, you're desperate for the Baron's attention, and he's not giving it to you, and he's more interested in his toys. And
like most men.
Yeah. I shall refrain from commenting on that, but yes, I think you're probably right there. But did you enjoy doing that? Because you looked like you were having the time of your life.
Yeah, you've got to really, you know, and I don't actually, in fact, most of the people who've come to see my friends said, I didn't know you could do comedy. You're quite funny. And they go, yeah. But I suppose I don't really get the chance to do it very often, really. Yeah, it is good fun. But it's also quite hard work, I think, comic, to have, you know, for that to get that comic time in. It's all about pace and so it's certainly not easy, but I do enjoy it. I do enjoy the comedy element of it, yeah.
So this role, as I say, you know, she's really funny, and being a comedian is not that easy, but you look like you've got funny bones. Have you ever thought about doing anything else along these lines?
I've done a few comedies, some tellies, but I've not really, I suppose. But yeah, I'd like to do more comedy, I think. Really, yeah.
I think you've got a natural comedic bent, and also I think I have to say you have the best pair of pins I have seen in a long time on the stage. Have you ever thought about doing something like Chicago, Mama in Chicago? Because you know you carry a tune pretty damn well, and I say your legs and fishnets were impressive.
No, I think you know what. I don't know. Chicago's sort of one of those that's. I think it would be for me to go into Chicago, I think would be a bit boring, really. I don't know. No, it sort of does the rounds, doesn't it, really? And I don't know. I think it would be a bit too obvious. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what comes up. I'm doing this till the end of July, so we'll see. Yeah.
What do you like about this role?
I think that you can make her as mad and as zany as you actually want to. Really, you can sort of do what you want. I mean, the director said to me, "You've made her quite mad, haven't you? You've made her quite mad, and she's really funny. And I've never seen her played that funny." And I said, "Oh, well, shall I stop doing it?" He went, no, leave it. It's good. It's good. Just do what you're doing. But she's much zanier and madder than I thought she was going to be. And it was like, well, that's the way I want to do it. So, and she's gone down well. So
she really has. I mean, she's madder than the proverbial box of frogs. She really is. And but it was your chemistry with Shaun works really, really well. And as I say, you're craving his attention, and clearly he's not giving it to you. But the whole sort of ensemble works really, really well. What is it about this production that you're loving?
Well, I think it's the songs of Chitty, isn't it? It's it stood the test of time. It has great songs. It's got a great warmth to it. I think that people keep on coming back to, and musicals are about the songs, and also it's about a flying car. And what's there not to like about a flying car? And it's got Ian Fleming attached to it, which is obviously James Bond, Roald Dahl. So it has its light and dark moments. With the child catcher and I think it's a great sort of it's very traditional and dare I say old-fashioned, but I think there's still a hunger for that, I think, these days, and I think it's a great, I was going to say family musical, but not just family. I think it's amazing the different types of people that come to see it and love it, and there aren't always people with children either. So I just think it's got a really great heart, and I think that's really important.
Yeah, and it is a classic without, and as you say, a little bit old-fashioned, but not in a twee way. No. And it works on every, as I was saying to Lee earlier, it works on every single level and ticks every single box, and there's something for everybody. But what, can I ask what's next? Do you have any plans after this? Because I know it's quite a long run.
No, not yet really. I'll have a little bit of rest. There's a few things in the pipeline, but I'm when am I leaving? The end of July. I'm leaving the end of July, so we'll see.
So, last question, TV or theatre, which is your great love?
I like doing both. I think, as a jobbing actor, it's great to do both. Theatre's much more hard work, obviously. So it'd be nice in an ideal world to have a bit of both.
Well, you've been working ever since you were sort of 18. You've never been out of work, so you're clearly doing something right. And touch wood, yeah.
Thereabouts, like everybody, yeah. But generally, it's been okay.
You haven't had to wait on tables, though, have you?
No, I haven't done that. No.
Brilliant. Well, Michelle Collins, it's been an absolute pleasure and privilege to talk to you. Best of luck with the rest of the run as the Baroness.
Thank you. So, what are you on Twitter? I'll find you.
I'm Nancy Stevens MK, and I'm following you on Twitter. So I tweeted last night.
The Wi-Fi's very bad in Milton Keynes, I must say that.
I'll have a word with BT about that.
Yes, please.
Thank you so much, Michelle. As I say, a real privilege. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's Nancy Stevens from MKFM, the Beat of MK, and I'm here at Milton Keynes Theatre, and I'm lucky enough to be talking to Shaun Williamson, who, everybody knows him as Barry from EastEnders, but he's a comedian extraordinaire, cabaret performer, theatre star, and now playing Baron Bombburst with both pathos and humour.
It's a mouthful, isn't it, that one? That's a mouthful. Who wrote that intro? Was it my agent?
No, I actually did myself, yes. Way too much alliteration. I should be, I apologise for that.
Baron Bombburst. I often trip up on that one.
So it's really lovely to meet you. We're following each other on Twitter. Milton Keynes is, familiar to you. Are you happy to be back?
I am. It's a beautiful theatre. There's loads of space, which is important. It's my first week, so it's a pleasure to be opening in for me in Milton Keynes. They've been on the road for months. We always enjoy coming here. In fact, I've been here, I think, 3 times in the last 18 months. I think One Man, Two Governors and Love Me Tender, the Elvis musical. So it's always great to be here.
I just wanted to talk to you about One Man, Two Governors. I mean, I know we'll talk about being the Baron because, he is quite a unique character. But One Man, Two Governors, I mean, I've just actually finished doing that myself. We were the first company to do it. It's an amazing show, isn't it? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it is unusual, and I think it throws the audience. So some of the things that they put into, a lot of it's scripted, but the audience don't know that, and we won't tell them which bits. But I think they're taking on a bit of a magical mystery tour, really. And it is an unusual show to do, but I've never heard laughter like it in a theatre.
No, I must admit, as I say, I mean, I was part of the singing ensemble, so we weren't really part of the acting. We were the singers, so we were a bit disassociated from that. So it didn't really feel like we were part of the show. But I have to say, it is one of the funniest things I have ever seen.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to do it. I've been very lucky since I left EastEnders. This will be my 29th show in 12 years.
Wow, you really, what's the secret of your success?
Oh, just be nice, turn up on time, do your best, the usual stuff. Buy a round of drinks every now and again. you know.
You do have a reputation for being one of the nicest guys in showbiz, but clearly that's true. And sometimes when you meet people, you know, that you've seen off the telly, they don't kind of match up to expectations. But you really do. You are Mr. Everyman in the nicest possible way.
I just like people, you know, and I think you'll always be cast in something. You'll always get typecast in something that is quite close to you, I think. And Barry, there was a lot of me in that, you know. I'm a bit bumbling and silly, but I've got a good heart deep down, you know, and always look for the best in people, really.
Well, as you say, you know, being cast close to, you know, the sort of person you are, you know,
this is I'm playing this terrifying man-child, a bit like Kim Jong-un of North Korea, you know, who just have people shot on a whim. So it's a bit of a change, really. And he's got to be big, you know. There's no room for small acting in this. Or, in fact, I want to make him bigger. It's only my 4th show tonight, so I will work on that. But this is no place. I suppose Brian Blessed is the size we all aspire to when you're playing a part like this. So you know.
Yeah. Hi, it's Nancy Stevens, and I'm backstage here talking to Shaun Williamson, who is playing Baron Bombast from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, which is running at Milton Keynes Theatre till the 14th of May. An amazing production. Saw it last night. It ticks every single box from a family show perspective. What is it about the show that you love?
I think a lot of shows class themselves as a classic, and in some cases that's true, but this is one. You know, every song is great. The Sherman Brothers, brilliant. Every song is well known. The producers have spent money on it. It's evident on stage that they haven't scrimped on anything. You know, the costumes are wonderful. They've got a terrific cast. The guys playing the spies are just incredible, aren't they? And
sorry, I have to highlight that they are sort of. They're like the Marx Brothers, aren't they? And sort of Laurel and Hardy, and also something out of the producers. Yes. It's quite insane. I love them.
Yeah, which backs up my point. This is no place to be a small actor. You know, you've got to go out and because that's what you're up against. So you've got to be out and just hit the ground running. You know. So I intend to make him bigger, but I just want to get a week under my belt, really.
But as you say, I mean, he's a man-child, and he's more interested in his toys, and you know, the poor old Baroness is just longing for some attention. But you know, what is it about him that makes him so vulnerable? Because, you know, he's a man-child, but he's also, you know, a benign dictator, really, isn't he?
He is, yeah. I suppose he's vulnerable because he has childlike qualities, but, you know, I'm sure the people in North Korea don't think that, do you know what I mean? So, you know, that was my template for it, do you know what I mean? He's in one level, he is a proper Bond villain because he's a nutter, but he's got sort of flaws in his character, so that does make him a bit unpredictable and dangerous, really.
But no, I mean, you played it with great aplomb, and it was just fantastic. And as I say, the chemistry between the two of you really worked. And you know, your spies, you know, so the two sort of the chaps that we mentioned earlier. But as a production, as you say, no money has been scrimped. I mean, they really have sort of thrown, you know, everything at it. And from a staging perspective, it is wonderful. I've not seen anything like this in years.
Yeah, I'm just thrilled to be a part of it. You know, I was cast, funny enough, by Adrian Noble in 2007. But I had the chance to go into Guys and Dolls playing Nathan, and I thought, well, I'd always be able to play the Baron, but I'll not always be young enough to play Nathan. So I chose Nathan, and luckily this part came round again. So it's just great to be part of it finally.
It's great. I mean, Guys and Dolls is my favourite musical of all time. My dad played Nathan twice. What is it about that role that you love? Because Guys and Dolls is touring as well, isn't it?
It's another one that can call itself a classic. It's as simple as that. I went my friends in the revival, Gavin Spokes, playing nicely. And it just never disappoints. So I'm just lucky that I can carry on doing these wonderful parts and just fingers crossed it continues, really.
Well, you've done an amazing job. I'm just, as I say, an absolute privilege and pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure.
Thank you, Shaun Williamson, and enjoy the rest of the run.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.